Welcome back to this CUSA Tip-Off Show. Let's jump into it. One of the new members in Conference USA, Delaware. Let's start with the ladies. This is a team that went 9-9 in the CAA a season ago. Now, they did lose 3 of their top 4 scorers. They bring back Ella Wanzer. She had a great season last year, almost 9 points per game. They also add 8 new players to the roster, 5 transfers, 3 freshmen. This is a team with a lot of great history. One of just 5 teams in CUSA that has made it to a Sweet 16, in fact. We're pleased now to be joined by head coach Sarah Jenkins and Ella Wanzer. First off, welcome to Conference USA. And as you kind of take a look around, what do you feel is most exciting, and maybe as the coach, your mind goes to most challenging about a first year in a new conference?
Well, excited to be a part of the league. Everyone has been extremely welcoming, and I know it's a very competitive league, so I'm excited to play a new set of teams and experience a new level of competitiveness conference-wise. And new leagues are always a challenge. These aren't teams, especially geographically, that we would have,
no kidding,
or played. We are, excited to play teams from different parts of the region. And, of course, the travel is going to be different, but we're looking forward to it. We're excited about the opportunity and the competition.
Well, a lot of new faces for you guys on this roster, but you guys are all new to us. So in particular, tell us about the young lady sitting next to you. What are we going to expect to see from Ella? What kind of game does she bring, game in and game out? What kind of player is she for you?
She's terrible. I don't think we should
get her out of there.
Yeah, I actually want to say, I know, I want to say a lot of bad things about her so that no one guards her and they just leave her open. That's my plan.
Perfect.
Ella Wan's a phenomenal kid. One of our captains has come into this program and immediately stepped into a leadership role for us. She has a lot of experience. She's a 5th-year senior this year, and so has a ton of experience. Shoots the ball out of this world. So I'm trying to decide if I want to let her go through and play this year, because then I got to say goodbye to her. But, she's shooting close to 40% from 3. But I don't want anybody to guard her. So make sure nobody guards her.
Just keep it quiet.
Don't tell anybody. But phenomenal shooter, and has just really bought into the culture of this program, this university, extremely hard worker, and just comes in and puts her head down and does everything that we ask her to do. So I'm honored to coach her, and I'm excited to see what she does in this new league. And she don't want to run. We got practice tomorrow. She don't want to run.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. Well, Ella, she talks about you being a great shooter. Apparently, from what I've heard, you might be the most interesting player in Conference USA. I've heard design clothes, right? Did you design one of the jerseys that you guys have? Right? Is that right?
Yeah, I helped design the jersey. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff on the side. I have a lot of side hustles, we like to say. But yeah, I'm the chair for the NIL committee. I'm a fashion student. I have my own podcast. I do freelance graphic design, photography. So I do a lot. I don't like to be bored. You gotta have something to do when you're on the road traveling, some side quests, things like that.
And did we hear you got engaged over the off season too?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't mention that, so I was making sure we were still good there. All right, good.
Wedding planning is now added to that list.
Yeah, we haven't started that. That's going to be thrown together,
Well, among the many other things you do, put on your coaching hat for me and give us a look inside your practices right now. What do you guys look like? What is Delaware basketball this year? What are points of emphasis for you? What are we going to expect?
For us, we always are about pace. We push our pace. That's something we've been drilling for, especially this week. But I think for us, we bring a lot of energy. I think we're a very energetic team. I think we have a lot of people that really want to play and want to compete. I think we have an excellent group. Our court dynamics on the court and off the court are great. I've never been on a team that's this connected, that has no problems. We genuinely are really all good friends. I think that you can tell when we play that we actually like each other.
Wow, it's a big deal.
I think that's really special, I feel like a lot of teams you can kind of see maybe they don't get along too well, but us, we are all so close. And then it really makes it a fun environment. So we're going to push pace, we're going to shoot the ball, we're going to look in the post, and we're going to do a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, I think we're going to surprise some people this year.
Well, a lot of fun stuff. That sounds great. Coach, that sounds like a reflection of you, though, in terms of talking about the personalities and how this team has come together. How do you go about trying to help a team grow closer together like that? Because you know it pays off on the court eventually.
Yeah, totally. And I think in this landscape, we're facing the obstacle now, especially moving forward especially at our level where we can have a whole new team every year, depending on how things look. And, for me, it was a situation this year where we graduated a lot of seniors, and last year we battled a ton of injuries, unfortunate injuries. And so for our team and our group right now, and it's like I really have, 10 newcomers who never played or played together. And so for us, it's just important we really care about people here. And that's a part of this culture. It's a part of who we are. And, I tell people all the time, if you don't want to have a genuine relationship with your coaches, with your teammates, this isn't the place for you, because we genuinely love each other and we care about each other. And we don't have to plan and orchestrate stuff and you got to do this and everybody got to do this at 5 o'clock. It's like it is a genuine desire to build genuine relationships with each other. And so the connectivity has been phenomenal with this group. They, like she said, they enjoy hanging out with each other. I enjoy being around them, which is great. We haven't played a game yet, though, so ask me again. But just a really good group that cares about each other, and they love each other. And so that's the ultimate goal. And we believe that the wins and the success will follow.
Well, listen, if this interview is any indication, we are going to have a blast having you in Conference USA. You have set the bar very high with this interview. We appreciate you guys spending some time with us and look forward to watching you this season.
Thank you so much,
guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, how fun were they? That was fantastic. Not only are they great to talk to, they've got some weapons as well. Again, we're just learning about them coming into the league, but they've got some offensive options.
Well, in the day and age, again, where you go to the transfer portal, you're lucky to find some players that have had experience on the floor. They brought in 2 that are averaging double digits. So they, along with Ella Wanzer, you've got 3 players coming back now, averaging double digits. So you've got firepower at many different positions. And I think that's going to be helpful, too, because they lost quite a few people. You still have that experience, and I think coming into that new conference, you're going to need some of that confidence based on some of that experience that they brought in. And clearly, they're having a great time together. So I think that's an additional 10 points, I'd say, on the floor.
You can't measure that. I don't think the analytics have figured that out yet. But when you talk about their style, and they said, we want to get up and down, we want to shoot a bunch of threes, is it going to be more them having to adjust to the style that's played in Conference USA, or is it going to be all the teams in CUSA having to adjust to what they try to do?
Well, honestly, I think that their style of play really comes in line with what a lot of Conference USA is doing right now. We graduated a lot of interior players from last year. You think of Abella Smuda, Anastasia Boldareva, Izzy Nadabo. So we're very guard-oriented, I think, more this season than we have been in past. And so this actually plays right into what Delaware does as well. They shoot a ton of threes. Ella Wanzer led her league in three-point shooting last season. So I think it's going to be complementary. And again, they have the benefit of nobody knowing who they are, right? So they're going to come in and surprise some people. They've got a lower rank at the preseason, and I think that's just going to light a little fire under them to try to prove some people wrong.
Well, it's going to be fun watching how they perform this year. All right, we turn now to the Delaware men, also, of course, making their debut in Conference USA. It was a team that was 5-13 in the CAA last year, but they got red hot at the finish. They won 4 games as a 12 seed in the CAA tournament to reach the championship, nearly won the thing. Now, 9 of their 15 players are new. A big key for them, bringing back Kevin Riley, who scored over 12 points per game. They also get Tyler Hauser back from injury as well. So Martin Inglesby, in his 10th season, does have some players to build around as he heads into his first campaign in CUSA. All right, let's talk to head coach Martin Inglesby as well as Justin Fernandez. Guys, first off, welcome to Conference USA. And coach, in that same vein, as you prepare for this season in a new league, are there any unique challenges? Are you having to change the way you do anything going into a league of teams that you don't have a lot of familiarity with?
That's a great question. I think we spent last year knowing we were coming, doing a little bit of homework and preparation as far as style of play and just familiarity with these teams and getting a sense of what the travel is going to look like. Talking to Conference USA league meetings and stuff, and trying to figure out where we're going to stay, what the travel looks like, how long it's going to take to get to places and stuff, and just trying to educate ourselves as we kick off this inaugural season in Conference USA.
Coach, switching to personnel, you're able to keep Kevin Riley, which is huge. Talk about, what his impact will be. And then also you add 9 new guys. Maybe mention how they're looking and what you expect maybe from a few of them.
Yeah, it was a really important piece for us to be able to retain Kevin. Obviously, a big part of what we do and what we're going to do this season. A guy that's averaged double figures for us the last couple of years, and a guy that can really stretch the floor. And he really moves into a leadership role. The most experienced guy on our team, going to be a captain, going to really be able to drive the bus for us. And as you said, we got 9 new guys, 3 incoming freshmen, 6 transfers. But it was really important for us to get these guys acclimated as quickly as we can this summer with what we do. Obviously, really excited about this guy next to us, a transfer from Providence. Familiar with him. We saw him on the AU circuit way back in the day, but I think he'll be a really talented guard that can play multiple positions and score the basketball. And a lot of high major transfers, guys that we recruit a little bit out of high school. They kind of fit the holes that we needed to fill as we addressed our roster. Got some size with Nana Njoku, a big kid from Memphis, Buna Kebe. And then we got Christian Bliss from Virginia. We got Jameel Brown from Temple. So a lot of good talent that we're trying to develop some chemistry with as we prepare for the start of the season in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Justin, talk to me about that. You get all these new guys together. How do you fit in terms of leadership? Are you someone that wants to lead? How do you do that when you're new to a group? And how do you get everybody to kind of buy in and have one vision?
Oh, yeah, definitely, just coming in and just kind of having experience, from prior teams, just coming in with the voice, definitely, being one of the older guys. I think that's pretty important, especially having, some younger guys and other guys who may not have played as much. But, yeah, just definitely continuing just to come in and just try to learn my teammates every day, try to figure out how we can build that chemistry on and off the court, and, hopefully it will lead to winning some games.
Yeah, Justin, we mentioned, you guys are new and learning the conference, but the conference doesn't know about you guys either. So tell us a little bit about, what's Delaware basketball? How do you guys want to play? What can the conference expect to see out of you guys?
Definitely a fun style of play. We definitely want to play fast, definitely want to get up and down. We want to guard. We want to be able to, knock down open shots and really play in transition. Like you said, we have some big guys who definitely going to hold down the paint and, rim protect for us. So I definitely think that Conference USA is going to be in for a good treat with us.
Yeah, Coach, he smiles at that. That's right. Yeah, Coach, as you've spent some time now with this group, and we know still a little bit of ways away from the start of the season, what do you feel like the identity of this group either can or you hope will be when this season really gets rolling?
Yeah, I think a team that, plays for each other, a very unselfish group on the offensive end. I think we got great depth and versatility with some of our personnel that we've added, ability to play different ways. And then I think the biggest thing that we preached is, just our defensive chemistry and intensity there. We were not the best defensive team last year in the CAA. I do think we have the personnel and the style and the length and athleticism to be much better on that end of the floor. And obviously going to a top 10, conference in America, we know that we're going to have to be able to hang our hat on the defensive end. So really being tough, hard-nosed, physical, and disciplined at that end of the floor is what we've really focused on early stages of this season.
Well, guys, we can't wait to see what Delaware basketball is all about. Welcome to Conference USA, and thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, and as you take a look at this program and you think about what they add to Conference USA, you heard about it on the floor, but you think they add more than just what they're doing on the court.
Yeah, I just think it's a great market. You talk about where the university is, and I actually grew up about 15 minutes from the university, so very familiar with Delaware, but you're in a very high populated area when you talk about Wilmington, Delaware County, the greater Philadelphia area. Yeah. So it's great to have them. It's going to open up a whole new market to Conference USA. So you're talking about, Delaware being the flagship university of the state of Delaware that has tradition, that has history. So I just think for both sides, it's a great addition to Conference USA. And I think they're going to, there's some unknowns, but I think, knowing from where they've come from and some of the history, I think they're going to blend right into a great conference.
Certainly unknowns, and they talk about all the new additions as well. When you think about their style of play or maybe the characteristics that they bring to the floor? What do you see?
Yeah, so again, having grown up in that area, I can say this firsthand, but what you get from, Delco kids and you hear about some of the transfers where they come from, you kind of get this toughness and a grittiness that's expected from teams and players in those schools around that area, and that's fully what Coach Ingleby's doing. He's got a tough group, and again, what they do, schemes and X's and O's, we'll see that very shortly in a few weeks. But I just know that they're going to come into this conference just to play really tough and intense. And again, I will not be surprised if they come in and have some good success right away.
Yeah, it should be fun to watch them and get to know them here moving forward. All right, from one new kid on the block to the other, we go from Delaware to Missouri State. We'll check in Springfield, Missouri, see what they're saying about the Bears.